Okay, guys, today we are looking at the Union UN4044, and it's yellow. There you go. And this was another one sent to me by Assa Abloy, and I've got to admit, I've had my eye on this for quite some time. But I thought Lotto is a Lotto is a Lotto, and I've got a number of Lottos, so you know, well, I'll maybe one day. And every time I'm tempted to get one, I don't know, change my mind. I don't know. But I have been looking at different types of lottos. And then this was sent to me, and I looked at it and I thought, okay, that's great. Looked at the bitting, very, very simple. And I'm, no, okay, that's great. But there is a zero cut on pin 6. So it's a 6 pin, obviously. And they're all the same. Then I went back and looked at the box and saw that it is a yellow MKD, which means master keyed. And I thought, well, that's great. Because when you think about it, we're thinking about a lock from a lock sport perspective. But that's not its real purpose. That's not what it's designed for. It's designed to keep someone out of an electrical box or gas box or something when someone's working on the line. I mean, imagine you're in a mine and you've got to switch the gas on. There's no gas. You go, you try to switch it on, you open the cupboard and whatever, and someone's busy working on the line, you end up killing them. So when they put this on, there is a full understanding that you do not remove this. That means there's someone working on the line and you don't touch it. So what is the difference? Well, this one is MKD instead of KD, which is key different, or KA, which is key like. Just MKD, so it's master key. So I got you thinking, well, that explains that. They're all pretty much like one cut and then a zero cut at the end. And so what that means is that you can make a master keyed lock out of this. And all that you got to do is open it up and add in discs. Really, you get discs. I have lost the other key. Would you believe? I would believe that. So here's another key that's of a similar keyway, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it so well. So you're going to see there you go. Now you can see the profile differences. So that is the length of discs. You get different disc lengths. That will be the first length, and then that might be a 2, that might be a 1 again, and that is the same, and that is maybe a 3, and that's a 4 that you would just add in. So basically you've got a key pin, a disc, and then a driver pin. So that both keys will work on this lock. And that, to me, makes a hell of a lot of sense because your shift supervisor can have the master key for all the lottos. And then each individual lotto has got its own key. So that contractor, whoever's working on it, takes the key with the lock. And should there be a problem, or he's lost the key, or he doesn't arrive for work for the day, you can still access this. So I got you thinking, but hang on a second. Well, let's see if we can get it open first. So what I'm using here is a Christian Holler. If you want to order it off multi-pick, I love these turning tools. They're just very simple. It's designed by Christian Holler. It's a C Holler Champion wrench, and that is actually 1.2 millimeters. And today I'm going to go in with a the Lorlox Typing Lockout Buster. And let's see how we get on with that. Now, I have obviously had a few goes at this. And so I have picked up a few useful tips on the way. I am seeing some serrated pins, definitely spool pins. Maybe if I stopped talking and started picking, I might get somewhere. So very little tension. And I think we've got some people arrived home, so there might be a bit of noise. And let's see what we can get out of this lock. Obviously, the camera adds 10 minutes, but there you can feel a serration going there. I think I'm down to pin 4. Whoop. And there's some counter. I've gone to a false set there, so that is a spool. But I'm hearing clicks beforehand, so it could be a serrated spool. I don't know. I haven't actually opened up the plug. And I think here we're going to get, let's get off the tension. Are you looking at the tension? There's a lot of counter rotation on that one. I have lost my false set. So I'm going to come back to the beginning and just gently go over them. I noticed that on 2 sometimes, up, and there we go. We are open. Now I have a feeling I haven't touched pin 6 because of that. And the reason why that key has got a 0 cut is to prevent someone getting a wiper blade in, just pushing them all down. So that is your master key as you're going to get it. And we have the open, so that's great. You will notice that it is key retaining, and we're going to go over the key retaining bits in a little bit. But what got me actually thinking about it is that, so once we've got it open, it's holding the key. That's what key retaining means. There's a reason for that. I thought, well, if it's keyed master, right, surely you should be able to gut this one, because other ones you can't gut. They come as they're ordered. And so, I mean, if there's a master key in it, it must be rekeyable. Has to be. I mean, otherwise, what would the point be? So I opened this one up and took a look this morning, and there is your little screw. So I thought, that's grand. Let's see if we can get in there and remove the screw. It's pretty long, I've got to tell you. Excuse me. And out she comes. It's a long screw. There is a lot of screw in this lock. So we're going to gut, we're not going to reassemble, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to try and pin it with other pins to the other key, just to make it a little bit more interesting for myself. You can see I'm still going at it, eh? So we're going to gut, and you can see I try to get a little screwdriver or a little blade in there, but I saw this was quite loose, so I thought, that's not the way. Let's not destroy it. That will just pull out. And I did that, and I gave it a good yank while the key was still locked. Hello. And, well, you know, I ended up rearranging furniture looking for ball bearings, which is pretty much standard. So I think we've just added more key pin sets to the floor in the TV room. So I've learned a little trick. When you are pulling out the core on this Union LOTO, we use what the English call a tea towel, and I think the Americans call it a blankie or something. In South Africa, we call it a faduk, and to cover it. And what I'm going to do is just give it a good yank out. It's steady, but good yank out, and let's see if it comes. And it did. Now, your first yank is going to result in all the bits and pieces leaving the building. So let's have a look inside there, and you're going to see a semicircle at the end. That's what the tailpiece of the plug is rotating. And there's your plug, and there is the, let's try not to, it's still in there. There's your tailpiece is a semicircle. So basically what it means is that once that is engaged, those two semicircles are pretty much locked together. And that prevents a bypass. And how does it do that? Let's look at a different make. That's a semicircle, but that is a quarter circle. So basically, in its lock position, you can turn the actuator and that can come back. But also, when it's locked, you can get a bypass tool in there and that'll turn it without having to turn the plug. Because these are two semicircles that lock into each other, Union also uses on the other models a groove. That's got a groove on it, that's got a groove on it. So you are not able to bypass this lock at all. That's just not going to happen. So there's your plug. The only downside I can see to this lock from a lock sport perspective is that, well, there's two downsides really, but I have a solution for one of them. What happens is what was I going to say now? Is that if you rattle it, in other words, if you turn it plug over and all your key pins shoot out and you can't do anything, you can't cut it in half and repair it because that whole body sits in there and it's pretty much the end of this lock. So you'll have to order another one and keep that one as spares. That one might help. The other, so yeah, don't rattle your Union, rattle your other ones. And I've got another one I've been trying to get open just to rattle it for the sole purpose of rattling it, and I've not come right. Here's the other downside, right? And I made a specific follower for this. If you look at your tailpiece over here, let's try and get some light on that situation. There is a very long groove here. That's quite a groove, right? So when you put a plug follower in, like a normal plug follower, what's going to happen is that is going to be there. And you're going to have this big gap in the middle over there. And your driver pins are going to shoot up in there and you're going to lose a whole lock. So I have made a slightly different one. So that goes that way. I'm trying to orientate myself with the camera. So that goes that way really, and that allows you to not have your driver pins go all over the show, and it's just quite easy to gut. Again, with the Unions, it's got the little tab on the circlip. Our lighting isn't great because the sun is doing all sorts of things today. And one should also use your Faduk for this so you don't lose your circlip. But we succeeded. So I'm dead keen to see what's inside. I felt serrated and I felt definitely, and I mean, we seriously saw some spool pins going down there. Now let's just not drop all our key pins out. And where's that little, now this was made from an 11.5mm drill bit. And then what I did was I cut a groove on the other side over there. So you can push it, you can plug it, and then you can repin it a lot easier. All right, without any further ado, let's pull the plug. Hopefully it fits because this is 11.5. It might not. It might just not get on there. I in fact I think we've lost it. Damn it, we've lost it. As you can see, you need it. Sorry, I used a 10.5. I'm going to have to use a 10. So what have we got in here? And we have 1, 2, 3, all sorts. Lost some stuff here. Very, very interestingly enough, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've lost one. And these are the new stepped. There's the little tweezers. So let's see if we can zoom in here. There should be 6, and I count 5. but also count 5 springs. I wonder how many pins we've got. We've got, there is no pin in there. So it was a 5-pinner. Okay, that explains that. And that opens up quite a few doors for us, because I can repin this with a number of configurations. And now I've got to tell you, this is, so they're all standard 1-pin. 1 or 2, however their numbers work. I'm again going to try and zoom in, because this is, again, quite interesting. And if you look at that, they are using the stepped spool pins on this, which I really, really do find quite interesting. It's very short, soft springs, and one can get in quite close. Can you get in quite close? But can you? So somewhere along the line, this is going to give you a good shot of it. There you go. They're using their stepped driver pins, and I really, really wish I didn't lose that one, because now I'm going to have to figure out the orientation of them again, because it seems they randomly orientated them. And yes, that is the UN4044. Let's zoom out again, because all you can see is the latch on the box. Master keyed in yellow. Honestly, I think it's great. I love it, because this is the one LOTO. You can get one LOTO, and you can sit and play with it, change your pins, and do whatever it is you like. From a work perspective, you definitely can redo. So I can redo this entire lock now, because I do have spares of these, in any key configuration I want, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So I really do enjoy it, and I just wonder how many of you guys have gotten yourselves one of these and what your experience was. So please leave a comment. And I must say, I'm surprised to see that, because that explains the serrations, again explains the serrations and spools that I've been feeling. So yes, I'm quite happy with that. And guys, if you like this video and it helped, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe.